What's up, YouTube? My name is Danell, and welcome to Danell FX, where I'm trading Forex. I'm actually on my journey to success. So I'm not a professional trader. I'm not one that's even trading with real money yet, or has made thousands or millions of dollars doing it. But I'm learning. So stay tuned. Keep tuning in to this journey that I'm on to become a much better, a profitable Forex trader. So I came to you earlier this week with a video to let you know I was struggling. Man, I was losing trades left and right. I mean, it was all on the same pair, all on that pound Aussie. The pound Aussie was wrecking me earlier this week, and man, now it was tough. It was a tough hurdle to get over. You know, I lost a few. I got out of a trade early, then I started chasing trades, then I got emotional, then I was over trading. But I'm happy to say I regrouped and I finished out the week with some strong trades between last night and this morning. So I'm really excited that I was able to regroup, to regather myself. Put the doorbell. But I'm really happy that I was able to gather myself and perform much better throughout the end of this trading week. So I'm excited to hop into the charts and take you guys through some of the things that I learned that I think are key in making me a better trader this upcoming trading week, better than I was this week, and hopefully more profitable too. So I'm looking forward to doing that, and then hopefully you'll learn something from it too. But without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into the charts. All right, so let's jump into this. So you guys, if you watched the last video, then you know that I took 5 trades on this GBP AUD pair, and I lost 5 trades. So just to give you a little insight, because I think this will really help you moving forward, and it's certainly going to help me. But what caused me to think that way is I knew that overall that on the daily chart we are in a uptrend on this pair, and that this pullback here was just that, a pullback, and that price will eventually move higher. What we're actually starting to see now is some consolidation and some ranging between this support zone right here and this resistance here. However, let me show you what I saw in the moment, because that's what matters. How do you trade in the moment? So this is what I had drawn. I had a trend line drawn, and price seemed to be kind of moving along that trend line. It wasn't above it, but it seemed to be sticking close to it and moving above it at certain points. However, once we got here, because earlier I said that, I got into a trade. I got into this trade probably around here, and this is a 4-hour chart, and I think I went through most of the day just kind of trading sideways, and then it went up a little bit, and when I woke up, price was reversing back down. It might have been back here somewhere, but price was reversing down, and I was like, oh wow, is this thing gonna continue to head lower, and it's not gonna go back into the uptrend yet. So I ended up getting out of the trade, and then I saw this. Then I saw the trade continuing to move up, and I jumped in, and I had my stop, I guess, set too close, and I got stopped out. And that just happened throughout this time. And I was just so kind of caught up on catching the majority of the move up that I started to chase the trade. Like I was just hunting for a position to get in at, instead of kind of reassessing and seeing and really just looking at the charts without being biased one way or another, just looking at them and seeing what the market was going to give me. And that's why one thing I'm going to say is to do exactly what I just did. When you have a trend line, an area of support or resistance, or anything that you draw on the chart to kind of help you assess the market, when it becomes invalid, just remove it, because it will throw you off for future trades that you want to take if you have that on your chart. So that's what I ended up doing. I ended up deleting all my areas of support and resistance, deleting any trend lines. I even took off the SMAs. So now I can clearly see that, you know, price is going into a range, and I was even able to catch, to call out this move right here. I don't think I actually got in the trade. Let's see, when did that happen? Yeah, that happened sometime this morning. And wow, okay, my phone is connected to my PC. Don't want y'all seeing my text messages. If that's popping up on the screen, let's disconnect that. Yeah, that's my wife. She's tired. All right. So, yeah, so I can see it's in a range, and now I just have a much better idea of where price could be going, and I'm able to trade this pair a lot more efficiently and effectively at this point. So, I mean, I caught this trade out. I knew that price was going to come back down into this level. Now, when the market reopens, I'll be looking for some type of indication, some type of candlestick pattern or something to suggest that that price is going to head back up to the top of the range, and I will be getting in that trade. And that trade right there would net me a minimum of probably around 200 pips. So that will be a good trade, and probably one of my biggest trades ever if price does head back up and I'm able to hold it all the way to the top of the range. Because, you know, price could do something weird like this where it heads up halfway, then it comes back down. You know, stuff like that seems to happen sometimes. Okay, so what else did I learn this week? So then we're looking at these GBP pairs, man. Wow, they just really move. I really enjoy trading these. You get a lot of action, but a lot of them look similar. If you look at what price was doing, it was all going up and down at the same time. So you see that with same thing here on GBP Swiss franc. Price is really in a nice uptrend, and you know, it's fairly easy to trade if you can identify the areas of support and resistance, which I have, and I've been able to catch some of these moves up. So these were pretty good. I mean, one thing that, let me show you one that's not GBP. Yeah, I think the USD CAD. Yeah, I traded that pretty well this week. So, the USD CAD has been in a downtrend for quite some time. So it was easy to draw a trend line there because I know that this is a tried and true trend line. So it's still valid. So I keep that on there. But I did draw new support and resistance areas just to make sure that I take things off, and then like I look at it again, just the naked chart, just so that I'm not seeing maybe what I want to see or whatever my bias was before. And you can see here how this area has been tested numerous times, and it's held as being resistance and as being support in some cases. So this is a trade I took earlier up in here, down into here, and then my last trade on the USD CAD was, I took the trade probably around here. Down into this area for about 104 pips. So that was a special trade for me because I mean I really it was like my first my first win after a streak of losses. So I felt pretty good about that, and you know, obviously I closed that one out earlier today, and now it's in a support zone. So I'll be looking when the market opens up. It looks like it's already, this is a nice indecision candle right here, but it looks like it's already giving me some indication that it could go back to this trend line. And of course, this is, you know, at this point, you have a support zone that's holding steady. So it's like a descending triangle. So eventually, when price comes to the end of this, then, wow, why can't I get rid of, all right, there we go. I'm gonna take that off. Price comes to the end of this triangle, is I'm looking for a pop to the upside or a pop to the downside. So we'll see. But whatever happens, I mean, that might not even be next week. That might be maybe a couple of weeks from now when that actually happens, but we'll see. But that will be a special trade because it'll either be a reversal or a nice continuation. But yeah, I mean, support and resistance. It's like that is really what allows you to, you know, understand price and where it could be heading ongoing. So let's see, GBPUSD. So GBPUSD, this thing has been like running. All the GBP pairs have been. These are like my favorites to trade. So you see, I have my areas of support. These are all support that used to be resistance. You know, you can see that this area was tested, retraced, broke through, came back to retest, then broke through the previous area of resistance, and then that becomes support, and then it tested here. And this is a trade that I caught for what, 67 pips. So basically a 2-to-1 there. I think I originally had this as a up into this 1.618 area on the Fibonacci. So that's another tool that I use to decide entries and exits. But I also use it, you know, really to also determine, I say entries, but like for another, like for more evidence that I'm on the right track as far as where I think the market is going. And you know, I'm deleting a lot of stuff. I really just want to get rid of this because those are annoying sometimes. All right. But yeah, so, you know, I throw the Fibonacci on these things, and then it's like really makes it a lot easier for me to kind of narrow down where price could stop and reverse at, or where, you know, where to look for continuations and all of that. And definitely here, I knew that price was gonna, once it retested this area, because usually I'm looking to buy in this area here, in the 50%, you know, area 0.5% of the Fibonacci. But I knew that I had a support zone here, so that price might just come down there and shoot back up. And that's exactly what it did. So I was ready to buy, and it worked out. So that was another one that really helps me to get back, you know, get back on my game and to feel good about my progress. Let's see. I didn't trade this one, the Japanese yen. So on this GBP yen, this pound yen, this one is another one that's like really has just been like a rocket. And you know, it's pretty cool to see because I mean, look at this. I mean, it's not just an uptrend; it just like almost turned straight up. And that's one of those things where it's like scary. Like, dang, do I even take a trade when it's like this? Like, well, if you can find a good area, but because when you look at it from the daily, it's like there's no way I can get into this trade and have a good risk reward. But I actually traded this pretty well because you can identify these areas of support and resistance. Again, like it always comes back to, I think, if you're a price action trader, is where's support and where's resistance. Looking at this chart now, it's already kind of broken through. Well, not yeah, it broke through this area of support, but you see how it wicked out and it kind of came back, almost back, came back up into that zone pretty much. And then this last candle here is looks to be a hammer candle. You know, so it looks to be a hammer candle right below the 50% range and right below the support. So that is right there a lot of confidence to say that, okay, this might be where price stops and heads back up. Obviously, we'll see what happens because it's over the weekend. We'll see what happens, what price does. But this is something I'll be looking to buy moving forward and then take it up to this 1.272 area of the Fibonacci. Just because, you know, I can't really look left and determine where price was or you know, any area where there was prior resistance. I mean, I could look way back and that would be fine. Like, I know a lot of traders, they do that, but I feel more comfortable using the Fibonacci tool to go ahead and just decide where I would take my exit. So that's that. But the Fibonacci tool has been helpful. Like, even on this, where is it at? It's the USD Japanese yen. Yep. Even on this USD Japanese yen. So this is one where I actually took a L on this one. So we're starting. We started that uptrend right on this USD JPY, and you see prices moving up. Has a huge pullback. Bounces off of support, breaks through prior resistance, gets just above it and starts to pull back. So pulls back into this zone of that was prior resistance. And originally I had this green. So let's zoom in on this. So it comes down and then it look, because I was looking at the 1 hour for more of a entry. So this is where I decided to get in right after, like at this green candle. Once it was coming to a close, and you see there's an engulfing pattern here. So you see a nice engulfing pattern. Maybe I could use my there. Let's see if this works. So there's a nice engulfing pattern right there. I'm gonna use black. A nice engulfing pattern right there. So I got in on this trade, and man, you see how it went. I almost immediately went into draw. Immediately went into drawdown, and eventually, you know, I had my stop somewhere around here, and I got tagged out on this candle here. But and it kind of hesitated, like it kind of hesitated there for a while, like real time. But so I was like, okay, so where's price going? Is it going to come all the way back to this trend line that's been holding steady so far? Is it coming back to this prior area of support? So what I did was I threw a Fibonacci on there, because we are in the uptrend, so it's perfect to use. And I went ahead and drew that Fibonacci, and what did I find? So, oops, that's why that's off. So this is what I found. I found this area, this 50% area that coincided with, let's get my drawing tool back. It coincided with this area right here of resistance. It was a rejection here, and then this area of support. So I drew my zone here, and I call it a golden zone. I'm kind of hijacking that from another trader, but yeah, it's a golden zone, that 50% retracement. on the Fibonacci, and you see how price has reacted there so far. And it looks like it could move higher from this zone. If it doesn't, I mean, if it price kind of trades sideways until it hits this trend line, that's okay too. It'll still be in the zone, but the Fibonacci really gave me another area to look at. And so I'm more prepared because now I can say, well, if it does it in this area, then I'm ready. Not like, oh, where's it going? And I got to keep looking at it. I can just set an alert and kind of and go about my day and not be stuck in front of the screen the entire time. So yeah, so on this pair, when the market opens back up, obviously I'll look for a setup going to the upside. Okay, one more. Let's look at the Euro USD. So the Euro USD actually did pretty well on this one. I took a trade around this trend line here. Again, found this area of support just based off of prior support, and it held steady. So I actually could have took this trade a little bit sooner. I could have took this trade actually probably on this hammer candle. On this hammer candle right here. I could have took that trade. Should have took the trade there and took it all the way up to that area of resistance. And then I did take a trade out of this area down into here. And I just closed it out because it's the weekend and I'm not sure what's going to happen. I see this long wick and it's like, okay, I don't want to hold that through just in case price goes from here and bust through that zone of resistance. So some things I did well, and the things I didn't do so well. But during that time earlier in the week when I was just straight losing trades to this to the British pound, Aussie dollar, I mean it was definitely more emotionally driven and over trading. So, and you'll see, because we're about to look at my stats right now on my FX book. This is how I am journaling my trade. So you see, I am down 11.38%. So with a net profit of minus $58.58. So, I'm right around 450 right now because I did have some profit before I started losing. So you see they're not off to the start I wanted to get off to. Especially now putting this on YouTube. I'm not embarrassed, but I definitely want to perform well. But this is the reality of trading. Like it's not always gonna be like super profitable weeks, and it's better to learn this on a demo account and make these mistakes here than to be trading my real money as I've done in the past and lose it, because this one I could just replenish it and there's no strain on my finances at all to do that. But yeah, tracking all of this with my FX book, and oh yeah, you can see my balance here, 456.03. So hopefully by the end of next week we'll be back above 500 and on our way to 1,000. But that is my video. So there you have it. My this week in trades. I'm staying very transparent, letting you know like all the good things I'm doing and the bad things I'm doing. I don't want you to get the wrong idea, because I could have only focused on my wins, because some of the wins were impressive, but I got to show you the losses. And this week the losses outweighed the wins. And that's just, unfortunately how it worked out this week. But sometimes how it works out for traders in real life, some traders that are profitable have bad weeks. So that's the way that it goes. You can't get discouraged by it. I'm preaching to myself right now. You can't get discouraged by it, and you can't let that can't allow that to stop you. You have to keep pushing forward. But I think it's important. Like I like doing this, like going over my week with you to analyze my trades and everything that I did, because it helps me to become a better trader. And I hope that it will help you to gain a better understanding of Forex and learn, and so you can learn from my mistakes and be better, not having to make the same mistakes I did, and hopefully shorten that, you know, time that it takes for you to get to be a profitable trader. So thank you for tuning in. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, share, turn on the post notifications, because I'm going to be trying to upload at least a couple of times a week, and make sure that I'm reconnecting with you guys and letting you know where I'm at and what I'm learning. So thanks again, and I'll catch you on the next video.